Alright, so what we got here, excuse me because I gotta talk over the sound of this heater. It is cold. It is minus 10 Celsius, which is going to be this much in Fahrenheit. It's cold. It's now December 7th, so we're kind of early for getting the real cold and snowy weather. Anyway, we got some mud flaps, some better ones. These BRP ones. You'll notice I don't run the back mud flaps. I only run, or the back fender extenders, not mud flaps. I only run the front BRP extenders. These on a 64-inch wide machine, in my opinion, do nothing. I've had these on long enough, almost 4,000 kilometers on this machine now, to tell you that these do nothing. The problem with the 64-inch wide machines, even when you're driving straight, are the front tires. The front tires here are wide open right here. There is no fender coverage at all here. Even if these extended out a little bit past, like up to here, it would stop probably another 70% of the crap that flies straight up, and then you drive into it. I get covered, my passenger gets covered. I don't like running a windshield. A, money. I don't have the money to buy a glass windshield right now. But B, I like the visibility without a windshield on there, so that's why I don't run with a windshield. Would be nice, but no. So, I did a lot of research. I went on a lot of sites, forums, yada yada, like anybody would normally do, and I ended up purchasing a set of ROKBLOKZ. Now, you can get 64-inch wide coverage and you can get 72-inch wide coverage. Be careful when you're choosing. Also, be careful when you're choosing this particular set here, because they make them so that you can bolt them onto the inside part of the fender here, if you have BRP extended fenders, or if you don't. I bought them as if I don't have these, because these are coming off completely. They're useless. I don't know what I'm going to do with the little holes here yet, but I'll figure that out. But these are coming off. One flap itself doesn't come out. It actually covers partial top of the tire here, where the spray comes up. So that's the whole reason why I went with this kit. And you're going to see that here in a minute. So I'm going to get this stuff unpacked, get this cut open, give you an idea what the stuff looks like. Again, this is not sponsored. I bought these myself, paid for the shipping myself, and it is what it is. So if you go to below in the description, type in anything you want at ROKBLOKZ.com. For discount, you're not going to get it because I didn't get one. So anyway, can't find my knife, so I made one. Another winter project is cleaning out the shed here, the garage. All right, so what are we going to get? Bubble wrap. Everybody likes bubble wrap. Mounting hardware, front, rear, and flaps. What? What? Seriously? That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so quick story. Quick story here. My wife's American, right? So these in USA are called Smarties, right? Thank you, ROKBLOKZ. This is awesome. These are called Smarties. So in Canada, these are called Rockets. And I'm going to show you exactly what they are, if you haven't seen them. He's been around since forever. My wife calls these chalk. But anyway, this is funny. Thank you. When I first got together with my wife, I said, do you want to get some candy? And she said, sure. And I said, what would you like? Would you like some Smarties? And she goes, oh God, they're gross. I'm like, how can you not like Smarties? They are chocolate wrapped in candy. And she's like, no, they're not. They're chalk. They're not chalk. Okay, anyway, just to give you guys an idea of what the quality on this looks like. I think this is UHMW, UFC, whatever it's called. I can't remember. Same kind of material that skid plates are made out of. You'll see some dotted lines here. That's a fold line. I'll go through that here in a second. But so this is part of the front fender. So I guess this would be for this side, yeah. So like this is the coverage that you're gonna get over top of this fender, which the BRP stops like right here. You don't get any of this over the tire fender coverage. So hence the reason why I bought these. Also on the bottoms, you're gonna find a couple holes here where you actually get some actual mud flaps that go on the bottom of those to help protect the spray from underneath and on the side of the machine. First step for me is I'm going to be removing the stock BRP fenders because they're useless. So I'm going to get my drill, get my T30, start popping all this stuff off. Grab our bag of front mounting hardware. I'm going to separate this stuff out. You're going to notice some brackets in here. You're going to notice a couple long screws, short screws, yada yada. I need to remove all of those T30 stock bolts for the front fender assembly here, and then I'll start installing it. I'm just going to pour this stuff out here to give me a little bit easier access to it. So we're going to take two stainless steel brackets. One of them is going to go in place of this OEM T30 here, which I believe you're going to need a wrench on the back side. Looks like a 10 mil. I'll verify that here in a sec. And then the other one, you're going to be getting a screw somewhere in here. Right there. That is going to also go in place of the OEM dimple. Obviously I have a hole there already. It's not going to matter because this is a little bit bigger anyway. So that stock dimple is where that second bracket goes. And the way you want to orientate them is the long side of the bracket. There's a short side and a long side. Long side of the bracket's actually going to go up this way. You're going to screw them on and it's going to follow the body line. So one goes there, the other goes here. So right there, you see how far out that fender is going to actually come out and cover this tire. We are going to grab the correct side fender, mud flap, and here's where we got to do a little bit of bending. Now it is cold, so I don't ever suggest bending anything plastic when it's cold. So I'm going to grab my heat gun, and you're going to notice right along the fenders, there's going to be some score marks. That's the bend point. So obviously when I start bolting this fender on, this is going to have to bend down. And what you want to do is you want to bend it down a little bit past where it should be, so it'll start to form and shape back up. And the hardware you're going to select are these tapered stainless steel nuts. These are an Allen key. You also have these cool little branded washers that are also tapered. They look pretty cool. I like those. And then some nylock lock nuts. So obviously the fender's going to go over top of these brackets. We are going to get... Alright, so now we're going to be concentrating on this portion. And ROKBLOKZ provides some nice stainless steel hardware, like the rest of the stuff's all stainless steel anyway. And some nice wide washers to go in place. So put it through, and it's going to go in the spot of the OEM location, just like so. I'm going to get this all started here before I tighten everything up, and then work our way down here. So I'll get that done. Alright, so once we get to the very bottom here, we got this all snugged up. Nice. This is a removable mud flap that goes on the bottom. You don't have to run this, but it's there. So they make this so it's easily detachable on the trail. So you notice that the hardware amount doesn't match up to what you need on this side. That's why they give you a longer thumb screw. So this is attached by thumb screws. That thumb screw down here is going to go in place. So that's how that goes. And there's one longer one, and the other ones, the other shorter ones, go along here. Now, you do get these grommets here as well. So, if you notice, the logo is going to be facing the back side of your machine. So the way you want to do this is you're going to take these grommets, you're going to press them in on this side. There, that's 3. So, again, we're going to take our longer thumb screw. That's just going to go in place here. And then our 3 shorter thumb screws. I'm just going to, again, that's just me. I add anti-seize to everything because I don't like to work on stuff that I've already worked on because of something seized up because of rust or whatever, but anyway. Way better. Way better. Much better coverage on that. Anyway, I'm going to rinse and repeat on the other side. And then we'll start in on the install for the back side. So I'm going to get that side done, and I'll meet you around the back. So, without even driving the machine, the front fender coverage is about 100% times what I had before. So, yeah. And I like the look of them. I think they're very, very sharp. Now, again, I had BRP front fenders on here, not the fault of ROKBLOKZ for sending these ones. These are what I ordered. Again, you can order them with or without if you have front and rear BRP fender flares. For the holes, I just shortened the mounting hardware for the stock, or for the BRP fender flares, and then just screw them back in the holes. I think that looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. So, I'm happy with that. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to push this thing forward, and I'm going to get the backs on. Alright, starting on the rear. Make sure you got the right side, obviously. You're going to see the label, ROKBLOKZ. That's actually going to go down here. But you do need to assemble the back side of the fender here first, in terms of putting everything together. So, there's going to be left and a right, obviously. 3 small holes, 3 small holes. They're going to go together, and you're going to be using the dress washers for those ones, the ones that say ROKBLOKZ on them. And you'll see these 2 bolt holes, or these 2 holes line up here as well. So I'm going to get that assembled before I go any further, because as you can see along the front here too, we also have another fold line that we got to address here too. So I got to get my heat gun back out because I just unplugged that for some reason. All right, hang tight. All right, I am going to put a little bit of anti-seize on that bottom bolt, because that bottom bolt, the one that goes up through your bed that we just took the nut off of, is going to act as my little support. So I'm going to get that put up there, if I can find the nut that I just had in my hand. All right, so we are going to need a washer here too. So I'm going to grab one of those. And now, that screw that we took out of the tail light here, you are going to be reusing that, so I do need to get that screw that we took out with another washer on. And that screw is actually a T27, or T25, excuse me. So that needs to go up through here. Now, I do believe they said that if this is causing you trouble because it's now a little bit shorter because of that thick washer, mine seemed to grab okay. They did provide a longer screw, a couple longer screws in here. if that was going to give you any trouble. That seems to be okay for me, so. All right, that is there. Now, underneath, there's going to be holes along the bottom side of your fender. That's already been there from factory, because that's where part of the BRP set goes. So, the holes that are in the rock blocks correspond with the holes that you're going to find in your fender. And you're just going to have to go and start putting some washers and screws together, which they also obviously provide. Everything's nice and stainless steel, so gonna grab a couple of those, and the washers look like they're gonna go on both the top and the bottom of where they need to sandwich together. So they give you lots of washers. So start in on that. Now, last step is we need to drill. But fear not, it's actually two tiny little holes. So we're just going to basically take the inner side of this fender and line it up with the inside of the OEM fender. And then we're going to center the holes and then drill here and here, and then we're going to bolt them together. Simple as that. Oh man, I hate drilling into a machine, but oh, it's worth it. Contact. Okay. All right, we got her. So, again, the 64-inch wide model that you get doesn't push out the fender too far. Still keeps it within that 65-inch range, but provides a lot better over-the-tire protection. Exactly what I was looking for. That's going to be huge. Like, there was nothing there before. This entire area was all open. It was flinging all the crap right up. So, I'm going to rinse and repeat on the backside. And then maybe I'll pull it outside if it's still light out and get some beauty shots. So thanks for joining me on this install. Check them out, ROKBLOKZ. I'll have a link to their website below. Again, this was not a sponsored video. This is something that I picked up myself. I did a lot of research on it. This is a 64-inch wide machine. This kit is for non-BRP fenders. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it out in the trail and trying it, because again, without even driving it, I can tell you it's 100% more coverage than what I had before with the BRP fenders, which stopped like here. So anyway, thank you ROKBLOKZ for making a good product. We'll see how it holds up. Anyway, on the East Coast here, we got some tight trails, we got some mud, snow, so there's all kinds of stuff, rocks, sand. Anyway, looking forward to it, and we'll see you guys in the next run. Bra Guy out.
This episode is sponsored in part by RPM Powersports, Rocksolar, and A&UTV Pro.